Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and tonight we're gonna have a look at the eclipse, the lunar eclipse that takes place in Pisces, 15 degrees and 22 minutes in Pisces, and it's a waning phase of the moon. The phase is going to be up until the 21st of September this year, obviously. And at that point, the moon will become new in Virgo, and that will be a solar eclipse at that point. So that is the period of time that I'm going to have a look at through my tarot cards. And the first thing that I'm usually doing, that is the collective reading. So just let me shuffle, and we're going to have a look what waning phase of the moon is going to be for all of us. Hello, Yadabi. Hello, News Devon. Welcome to the stream. I hope you have a good time here. Hello, Christina. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Yasmin. Welcome, welcome. All right, so the first card, Ace of Cups, followed by Seven of Swords. And the third one we have, that will be the Ten of Cups. Totally unexpected, nonetheless. This will be the lunar phase in which the renewal of a hope is going to take place, at least according to these cards, in a way that we are going to be completely satisfied and fulfilled with it. Bottom line is that, you know, everybody has a subject in their lives that they have lost hope that ever something is going to take off there, like a good job is going to take off, or like a good friendship is going to take off, or maybe you're going to fall in love again, you know, and so on and so forth. And that will be the phase of the moon these couple of weeks up until it was 21st of September, where actually this hope is going to be renewed, at least according to these cards, for all of us. And you know, we're gonna see a brighter future again, would you believe it? That is gonna make us act a bit less selfish, but that doesn't mean that we're not gonna stick to our agenda. For the most part, it's just for one or another reason we're gonna be able to find a way how to incorporate that agenda with, you know, this new renewed hope. So long story short, you know, spot or place, if you will, in our hearts that was empty is going to be filled back again. And what it's supposed to happen, at least, is that, you know, our day-to-day routine will become much more vivacious and you know, as well, colorful, much more happy. And we're gonna find ourselves being very, very well satisfied to a point in which, you know, at that stage, suppose so, we are not gonna need literally anything else. So that is the collective reading. And now a few notes about the show. There are going to be 12 more readings, just like this one. Every single one is going to be for a different star sign. And I'm going to start from Aries and end up with Pisces. So you can keep up with which star sign I'm reading for through the glyph that is going to be right there. Actually, let me change. Oh, yeah. I do apologize. The mic cut off. Uh, so it should be okay now. I'm sorry about that, guys and girls. Yeah, no, I thank you. I thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I am. Right, so Aries, first one that will be Seven of Pentacles. Second card is the Magician. And third one, that will be Three of Wands. No, no, no. You're getting it. I mean, you're getting the reading. Don't worry. If I have to, I'm gonna make it again. You know, if there is a technical difficulty or anything like that. So I'm gonna make it again. Uh, so those are the three cards again for Aries. And for you, it will be a cycle where it's gonna take far less than you are prepared for to give. So literally things are gonna happen way easier than anticipated, and therefore you're gonna be left with a lot more resources than initially. So literally, I don't know how to even put it into words. Challenges are gonna be not challenges at all, and you will be able to get away with far less skill, far less knowledge, and also a far little, or rather like lower position than usually would have required. And thus in the next couple of weeks you can truly aim for much higher, than um, than the situation usually would allow, and therefore that will give you an edge for you to cover up certain dreams and wishful accomplishments of yours that was like, you know, dreams, but now they can become reality in the next couple of weeks, or you can at least uh, make the very few steps forward, the very first step forward into making those things or those accomplishments a reality. Should it happen though in the next couple of weeks that you end up meeting someone that poses an interest in you, be careful about the guy or the girl, because you may think you end up knowing them, but that is not going to be the case at all. And you may end up beguiling yourself thinking that you are far further than you actually going to be in that particular relationship. Don't brush away communicational issues, because that is going to be the telltale sign that, you know, you are at least at that point before you actually make a bigger research and a bigger or a vaster attunement to the guy or the girl, that there is going to be a miss and things can go awry in between you two. Okay, next one, that will be Taurus. Ten of Cups, the Sun, the Moon. This is pretty unique for you, Taurus. I would like the Moon to be the front card, but that will do too. Um, you know that every single one of us has a feeling that they are meant for something. Like, for example, you may be miserable in your love life, but you have the feeling, always had the feeling, the intuition, if you want to call it, that eventually you are going to meet the guy or you're going to meet the girl that is going to make you happy, you know, that is going to make your life worth living again, right? And that eclipse, it's giving you exactly that thing, the thing that is going to make your life worth living again, or even increase pretty much its worth. And you're gonna have a lot of difficulties at first fitting it in, because it's not going to be a natural extension or a natural addition to your current situation and to your current code of conduct, if you will. Also, you may end up having a difficult time performing as well, because what is going to be required will go a bit different from what you are used to as a behavior, as a lifestyle, and so on and so forth. So it's going to take some time, but according to these cards, it does look like, hello Madeline, welcome to the stream. It does look like that this subject, which is going to make your life increase its worth or being worth living again, it will be there to stay. So you will have some time to make the necessary arrangements and also alignments to the situation. All right, so next that will be Gemini. First one, it is the Magician. Then is a Page of Wands. And the third one, that is going to be 7. 7 of Wands. You're going to make people quite jealous of you in these couple of weeks. The reason being is that there are going to be stuff that only you're going to be capable of performing, coming up with ideas, you know, and generally pushing through also as well negotiations. And you should be prepared to face a lot of new things. In your life in those couple of weeks, many new people that you're going to uh, for example end up talking with, or end up being introduced to, you know, or in generally face a lot of new situations also. And you every time you're going to have the knack how to handle the situation, and you are going to be able to take the most out of those situations, which will allow you to grow in sovereignty, become far bigger asset at work, for example, or far more likable in your social circle, far more desirable, you know, from the person of interest that you do have. And of course, this is not going to go unnoticed. There are going to be people that will be simply jealous of you and will try to undermine your position and undermine your success, which is something that you need to kind of like address rather immediately, you know, and challenge these people, so to speak. Also, that will be a transit where if you want to make a point across, you wouldn't find a better time or a better time to do it, at least according to these cards. It comes from that elemental dignity here. It shows that the other side, whether your client, you know, or a friend of yours, is going to be far more receptive than under normal circumstances. Okay, next one, that will be Cancer. Eight of Cups, Four of Wands, the High Priestess. That will be quite of an unexpected good fortune for you into the upcoming couple of weeks. So basically, what takes place there, at least according to my cards, is that certain barriers which you cannot, you know, cover, like end up to certain criterias that are stopping you going forward. Those may be monetary criterias. It could be criterias of a character, for all we know, but they will no longer going to be in place. And so, as you were by now in a state of an underdog, let's put it that way, now you're going to become a favorite throughout, or this is going to be a procedure where you're going to become a favorite throughout the next couple of weeks. And from there, you know, your flow of events, your flow of work, your flow of love, for example, your flow of relationship, is going to normalize, and it won't be, the very least, it won't be any different from someone who is pretty content with with their state. But long story short, for you Cancer, it is a unexpected good fortune which significantly is going to improve the current circumstances which you are finding yourself in, and as well the situations that you are in. Right. So next, that will be Leo. Two of Pentacles. The Lovers. Six of Swords. This concerns a situation in which at that point right now, uh, there is an action that you want to do, but you don't want to do it. But it's kind of like you may feel pressed by the circumstances in order to do it. Like you don't want to quit your job, but it's just whether the nature of the job is something you can't handle, or the payment is too low to keep up being there, and so on and so forth. So you don't want to do it, but it is the only choice, that kind of like is going to work for everyone. And in these couple of weeks, there is going to be a change of plans, not just only yours, but also with everyone involved and everything involved, that will allow you to change perspective and change approach, that will allow you to avoid that action which you really don't want to take, because you don't want to take it because it does involves a lot of risks. By the look of the cards, it does throws you into the unknown, so to speak, so you wouldn't know what happens next, and it will be completely out of harmony with what you would normally do in those situations. So it's like a last resort thing that nobody wants to get to, and you will avoid it. And this will be because of a renewed hope into the field, where you think of incorporating that particular action. And this time around, the new approach that you are going to adopt, the new approach toward your spouse, say, or toward your work, toward your job, is going to work 100%. Okay, next, that will be Virgo. Five of Swords, Six of Swords, Six of Cups, yours are going to be a bit rougher couple of weeks here, Virgo. The reason for it, it's the opposite of the Leo reading if you listen to it. So you will gonna have to get to the last resort here. For many of you, is gonna feel like the Hail Mary, right? In one or another situation. So the stuff that you're gonna have to do, or the steps that you're gonna have to make, is gonna bring you no pleasure. But do you know what's going to bring you? They are going to bring you results, real results with merit at work, in your love circle, in your social circle, and so on and so forth. Now, the thing is that there are going to be some moral boundaries here and there that you're going to cross uh, by taking these steps toward these results, toward the success. But nonetheless, you know, at least at the end for you, it would have worth it, because what is at stake here is a dream of yours, and without those steps you wouldn't get any closer to it. But in these couple of weeks, you're finally going to build up the courage, um, the resolve, and taking those steps is going to take you steps closer to your dream. Next one, that will be Libra. The Tower, the Star, Three of Swords, it's a quite a complicated one. So it's gonna start with fear. Somewhere throughout these couple of weeks of the waning moon, you will end up being quite apprehended by your own thoughts about one thing or another. That could be, you know, that's ultimately you are gonna end up being denied. So what's the point of throwing efforts? Or you would have end up being screwed over. So what's the point of throwing efforts? This is going to be the question, you know, what's the point of throwing efforts in, since ultimately is going to fail down. And you know, this is where the mistake of your thoughts is going to be, that is going to fall apart. This time around it won't. This time around, yes, it's gonna undergo transformation. Your relationship may undergo transformation, your job may go undergo transformation, you know, and certain projects or certain activities that you are planning, or that you are currently executing, are gonna be thrown out of the window. But what is gonna be left are going to be solid foundations for you to build on top of them, right? So whatever concerns you right now have about your future, at least according to these cards, they are pretty much in vain. And you know, once you undergo that transformation, so to speak, the transformation of your career or of your friendship or of your love life, after that, everything will be able to be built according to your criterias, according to your standards, you know, according to your ideals, so to speak. And that very well could be that, you know, a transformation of a friendship into a romantic relationship or a hobby into a business. It does depend what you're going through right now. Okay, next one, Scorpio. Six of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, the Hermit, well, what this card speaks of, it's I put it into words, a pretty productive, for lack of better expression here, day-to-day routine in which routine we will have the opportunity, plural opportunities, to carry on with our own, say, ideas and say the way how we want to do stuff. Quite difficult to explain it here, but long story short, we are gonna have one knock of, so to speak, kind of life, okay, that will be pleasant to us. And for however reason we may not be able to exert that way of life by now, in those couple of weeks we will be able to find a way to live it. And that way everything we'll do is gonna bring us kind of pleasure, and it will be very productive. It will be, at least according to these cards, rather quite successful. And we are bound, at least according to these cards, for a quite of a growth and a development, career wise, relationship wise, you just name it. Because any responsibility or a chore or a project that we are going to undertake in those couple of weeks is going to bring us satisfaction, and every person we end up meeting with or interacting with is going to bring us pleasure. We're just going to like each other, and there is a potential for kind of like a long-term partnership, friendship, and so on and so forth. So for the Scorpio, we just have to, how can I put it into words? You know, uh, take take it on from something small at first, and then is going to the whole situation is going to snowball in no time. But it's going to start with something rather very small, a smile, a jest or a gesture, uh, or a nice word. And if we do take it on and we pass the jest to the other side, or we return it, it's going to start snowballing. So that is the transit in which a little kindness kind of goes for a very, very long way. Okay, next, Sagittarius. The Empress, Ace of Swords, King of Swords. Uh, this waning phase of the moon is gonna spare you with some things that will seriously, if you knew about them, they would seriously mess around with your decision making and your approach in life, and mess around with your also a long-term plan. So there are some stones that needs to be left unturned, and that's lunar eclipse is gonna actually protect you from finding those stones and turning them around. Most likely kind of like confrontations, so you will be spared certain confrontations in which some words can be said that cannot be taken back, and they will again seriously mess around with your comfort and how you are to make decisions about your long-term future, which by the way is going to be the topic of your waning fools of I'm sorry, your waning moon here, Sagittarius, by the look of those cards. And mostly you're gonna focus upon your own well-being, uh, for the most part, disregarding what other people think is best for you and looking only inwardly. And that will give you the option to make the most well-found and balanced decision for yourself about the fruits of your labor from here on moving forward. And so it is highly likely that you're going to make a very comfortable, very well defined, and also productive for you a plans for the future, and you won't regret them. Okay, next, that will be Capricorn. Two of Wands, King of Pentacles, the Moon, this phase of the Moon is a phase for you for a very good accomplishments. Accomplishments which can be expanded on. I will not gonna lie to you. These accomplishments weren't meant for you to reach, or how can I put it into words? Well, you can do without them, but nonetheless, they will have a serious addition to your life, serious monetary addition, for example, or influential addition, whatever the case, and they will serve as a milestone in which you can continue on growing. And because they sit outside of your fate, so to speak, you're always gonna have that feeling that you're leaving things unfinished, that there is something more you can do here and there about that person or about that project or about that task, about that endeavor, and so on and so forth. And another thing it is that you are gonna have quite of a tough time if you are even able ever able to do so, to connect with these accomplishments emotionally. It will be just another check mark or another box being checked. That is not gonna make them less valuable though to you. And on another subject here for Capricorn, it's a really good couple of weeks if you want to sign up for some kind of a classes, like a course, or like a university, some kind of an education to acquire a new skill or to acquire as well a new knowledge. But other than that, if you decide it is way too much to bear, feel free to drop them off, because like I said, they do sit, at least according to these cards, these accomplishments are going to sit outside of your fate. So I don't want to say that it's going to be irrelevant, but you can definitely do without them. Next one, that will be Aquarius. Give me a second. Got it, Kenny. I will do your reading about that specific inquiry. Okay, Six of Swords for Aquarius, Chariot, Nine of Cups. These couple of weeks involve a very tough move. that you will feel no pleasure of doing. Uh, but at least according to these cards, you're gonna deem very necessary in order to just stir your life in any way possible. It pains me to say it, but with that arrangement of the cards, they usually refer to where a person sits in a situation that he or she sees that there is nothing else there for them, you know. Uh, we're not talking about specifically a physical situation. Probably I should give few examples here. Um, let's say that you are um, trying to build a business, okay, and you have a particular approach toward the business. These cards does not refer to the business itself, like there is nothing in it for you, but there isn't anything more you can do with that approach. And so while it pains you to acknowledge it and to leave those efforts, you know, in the recycle bin, it's time to try something different. Okay. So yeah, that phase of the moon for you Aquarius is going to be quite disappointing because you basically will determine that you have been wasting you know, your time or your efforts up until this point. Or even if even if it wasn't, you may even batter yourself for a reason. It is that you are wrong. Okay. But once you kind of like shake that feeling off and you end up adopting the new approach, so to speak, or take on the new actions, then like we saw into the general reading on the collective reading, the hope will be renewed, things will work much easier for you, and much more cooperative, so to speak, because there are going to be other people involved in your growth and in your situation. And whatever your dream is, you're going to get closer to it in those couple of weeks, but it's going to take acknowledging your personal mistake. I hope you can do that. Right. And last but not least, that will be Pisces. Hey, Jasmine. Welcome to the stream. I hope you have a nice one. Or a nice time, rather. Ten of Cups. The Fool. Two of Wands. Thank you for the 20 US. Thank you, Jasmine. Very soon you're going to have your personalized reading. We put you into the list. There we go. Right, so you're going to end up being very happy of that something is falling apart. Like, you know, for example, you have been asked to go somewhere on a business trip that you don't want it to go and it's falling apart, or I don't know, there is a new neighbor that have moved in. They didn't like the condo, and you didn't like that new neighbor, and he's moving out. It could be a new roommate, you know. It could be that person that it is always parking on your driveway, that it is moving out, and so on and so forth. It's just there is going to be something that is going to fall apart. It won't continue, and you're going to be happy about it because it was kind of like driving you crazy by the look of it. Yeah, it took away some sort of a purpose you are serving, and now it's going to be there no longer, and you're going to be happy about it. It's just there is no other way looking at those cards. It comes from these couple of cards. Okay, couple of cards: 10 of Cups, 2 of Wands. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you. So with the Fool to the 10 of Cups, it's like exploring your options, what you can do. But for now, it's at least, having the Fool there, for now it does look like that you wouldn't take any action whatsoever, but that doesn't mean that you wouldn't explore what your next options are going to be. So I guess congratulations. I mean, something is going to go your way without you even lifting up a finger to do it. What better else than that? Thank you, girls. It means the world to me. Thank you. Okay, so that was for the 12. Let's get to the super chat now. Yasmin, is there any situation that is going on right now with your domain, like your home? Yasmin, it's for Yasmin. Well, that is all I needed, because your Lenormand cards are like that. Like that. Okay. And the site could be interpreted either as a harvesting or as a cutting through. And in your case, it's harvesting, because these are the tarot cards: Ace of Cups, 5 of Cups, and the Fool. So this waning moon, that is exactly what's going to take place. I mean, you will confirm that that is going to be the place you're going to stay for a long time. Okay. Um, while there could be, though, some new conditions that you will have to agree on, but you wouldn't be very agreeable about, at least at first. Okay. But when you think about it, it will be a fair exchange, for a lack of better word. But it does look like that's, at least according to my cards, um, in this lunar phase will become pretty clear, that this is the place you're gonna stay at. That is, of course, if you do want to. And you will end up being very happy about it. Bear in mind as well that some new options may open up for you. Whether you will explore those options or not, it's entirely up for you to decide. Jen, thank you for the $8.88. Thank you, Jen. Let me put you into the list. You're welcome. You're welcome, Yasmin. Okay, next, Christina, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Let me put you into the list as well. All right, next, Kenny. So you, Kenny, want to know whether you're working the job you're supposed to. Let me read the question again. I am meant to be in career. Okay, pretty specific one. So let's have a look. Yeah. Well, if one caught your eye, maybe it's a sign you should sign for it. All right, Kenny, those are the cards of yours. I don't know exactly how can I put it into words. It's not as strong as like you are meant to, but that's a type of career that you are going to prevail and that you are always going to be good at no matter what. It's a type of career that you're going to have a natural knack of, uh, the execution, the things, the people, and so on and so forth. And you're always going to be able to um, kind of like do things easier than most people at that specific uh, career narrative. You need to understand there is a very specific card in tarot that shows that this is something you are meant for, and not necessarily that reflects to everything in our lives, okay? Because you may be meant to be successful, but there could be few career paths that can get you to a stage successful. So that is definitely one of them, because you can be very successful in that one. You can definitely climb to a leading role, like a chief executive or something like that. Okay, you definitely can climb to a leading role. And I would say rather soon, let's say 6 months, 1 year, maybe couple of years, mm, you're gonna end up being one who is listened to. That doesn't necessarily means that you are going to be assigned, to a team, or a team being assigned to you, but you're going to be the one which opinion is going to be heard. For a reason being is that you are going to be uh, very skilled in the craft, and you will be recognized for it. So it's a career worth pursuing, that it is worth pursuing. Okay, next, Jasmine. You're welcome. Okay, those are your cards. So there is a woman involved. It's pretty close woman of yours. Okay. Uh, could be a good friend. It could be a motherhood figure, or your mother if it is amongst us. Uh, well, there is some kind of agreement or a promise in between you two, Jasmine, and in the next couple of weeks, it will be confirmed that the promised result is coming through, but it will require more from you, and that will be the disappointing part. Okay, like imagine it that way. That is a woman that you are very close to, and that woman is finding you clients, and she promised you a big one. And in the next couple of weeks, if that is an example we're following, in the next couple of weeks, will be confirmed that that client is coming through, but it will require something more from you, like I don't know, a new gadget or a new tool or new working hours, something new. That at first it will seem a bit too much, something that you aren't prepared for. Can you fit? You definitely can. Okay, you definitely can. And if you do, a really good rewards are waiting you. I would say an amazing rewards are waiting you out there. Oh, I'm sorry for the yawn. 4:07 a.m. here. I had a really rough day. Um, but you wouldn't be. Mm, No, the Lenormand are pretty indicative. Those are the Lenormand cards. Okay, so you can see the woman here. Pretty indicative. So it's a woman. It may be a client of yours that you are getting very well along with. Okay. Um, so you wouldn't be happy at all with these new requirements, so to speak. Uh, but ultimately, can I put it into words? Ultimately, you will get to where you need to be, so to speak. And at the end, you will be able to get even more than what was promised or what was agreed upon. So I don't know, at least in my book, Jasmine, it worth the additional, it is worth it, the additional investment in that. But it is a woman that is going to play a role, and the lilies, they show that it is a very close person. All right, next, news devon. Yeah, it could be work related, definitely. News devon asks what is coming my way, so I gotta use the Lenormand cards for that. News devon. Those are the cards for you. This is a commitment that is coming your way. That will happen over the phone, and the commitment is going to be about resolving certain confusions and certain difficulties that probably you both are going to be facing, either through the phone or through the social media. That is what's coming your way for these couple of weeks. Next, Jennifer, to your inquiry. Those are the cards. And I will say that you can be better. You can be better, and the advice, because you wanted an advice here, if the cards are giving one, let me, a second. Rather, I should say you can be more effective. More effective as what you're doing. And according to the cards, best thing you can do is change methods. You can be more effective with a different method. And last but not least, Christina. This is your card, Christina, for the next couple of weeks, and you need to know that the circumstances are going to be on your side. And at some point in these couple of weeks, you're going to have a once in a lifetime opportunity to significantly improve your life. And it's going to feel like it is a state where it is too good to be true. It's just everything is going to be like in perfect conditions. And you should take it rather than overthinking it and think twice, thrice, quadruple about it. Simple as that. That is what you need to know, is that you're going to have your chance. Take it. Okay, guys and girls, this is going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your generosity. We are going to see each other Sunday again. Actually Thursday, I'm sorry, now is Sunday. So we're going to see each other Thursday again, hopefully. And until then, bye. Yeah, it does.